Hi, welcome to yoga class today. Today we're going to be doing some standing twists and folds. So whenever you want, join me on your mat in the cat-cow position for a little bit of a warm-up. Lower yourself down to the mat in whatever way you feel best. Position your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Position your hips directly above your knees. Grip with your fingers. Inhale, arch your back towards the mat. Exhale, arch your back away from the mat. Inhale, pull your stomach towards your rib cage. Exhale, push the mat away. Inhale, tuck your toes. Press with straight arms so that your knees float off of the mat. Extend your legs so that you are now in down dog position. Adjust yourself however you need for a few breaths for your preferred down dog. Shift your weight and slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of the mat for a forward fold position. Today I'm choosing to have a bent knee forward fold position, gently swaying to stretch my spine even further. Shift all your weight into your feet. Inhale, rise up into a standing position, arms in the air. Exhale, hands by your sides, shoulders back and down. Inhale, hands back up, interlace your fingers and press the ceiling away. Exhale, lean to one side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lean to the opposite side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release your hands back to your sides. Step towards the front of the mat with one foot. Face your hips and both of your feet towards the long side of the mat. Hinge at the waist so you are in a wide-legged forward fold. Adjust your wide-legged forward fold into whatever position that feels best for you. Use your hands to come out of the forward fold a little bit. Place your left hand on the inside of your left foot. Bend your left knee towards the front of the mat and extend your right arm overhead. Keep your hips facing the long side of the mat and open your chest towards the long side of the mat as well. Bend into the front knee as graciously as you need to extend the pose. Notice where your weight is in your feet. Switch hands, face your back foot 45 degrees towards the front of your mat, and expand your chest towards the opposite side. You can place your hand on your back, or overhead facing the front of the mat, or straight up like a T position, whatever feels best for you in this twist. Your hips should be facing the front of the mat, and your legs are engaged and strongly pushing the ground away from you. Use some blocks and your core to pull yourself out of this position slightly so that you have enough wiggle room to straighten your knee. Adjust your feet closer to each other. Make sure that your hips are still facing the front of your mat, along with your feet. Straighten your back using blocks or your shin, whatever you need. Then, slowly release into a pyramid pose. Notice where the balance is in your feet. Pick a point far out with your eyes and stay focused on that. Don't pick something that's moving, like a cat's tail or something like that. Slightly bend your front knee and use your core to pull yourself into a standing position. Face your back foot toes towards the long side of the mat, your front toes towards the front side of the mat. Extend your arms, reach forward, and tilt at the hips. Make sure your hips are still facing the long side of the mat and reach towards a block or your shin or maybe the floor in triangle pose. Keep your arms extended into this wide T position. Grip the floor with your feet and engage your legs by pulling your thighs together slightly. On your next exhale, switch your hands so now your top hand is gripping the block or your thigh or the ground. Open your bottom hand towards the ceiling into a T position. Now your chest should be opening towards the leg that is in front of you. Open your chest as much as you can with every exhale. See if you can twist just a little bit further. Back foot should adjust so it is 45 degrees facing forward, and your hips should now be facing forward. Remove the block and bend your front knee as much as you need to place your hands palm down on the ground. Slowly shift forward so your weight is in your hands and your front leg. Bend your back leg and lift it so that the toes are pointing at the ceiling. For a little bit more challenging, keep your legs straight the entire time you lift it. Tuck your chin and look at your tum or look at your hands if you need a balancing point. Release your leg down so you are now in a forward fold of your choosing. Wiggle this out a little bit however you need to give your hips and your legs a little bit of a rest. Inhale, sweep your arms into a standing position, hands overhead. Cross your feet and twist so you are now facing the back of the mat as you lower your hands back to your sides. Graciously step into a wide-legged position, hips and toes facing the long side of your mat. Hinge at the hips and place your hands in between your feet. Play in this pose to find your favorite wide-legged forward fold position. Slide your right toes to face the back side of the mat and your knee to face the back side as well. Place your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Reach overhead with your left hand and keep your hips squared to the long side of the mat. Engage your legs by pushing the mat away and pushing them away from each other. Switch your hands and adjust your hips so they are facing the back side of your mat. Adjust your back foot however you need so that you don't feel any knee pain. Rotate your chest so it is now facing your front bent knee. With every exhale, see if you can twist further. Place your hand on the small of your back or leave it in the T position, whatever feels best for you today. Place both hands on the ground on either side of your front foot. Scooch your feet a little bit closer and use your core to pull yourself out of the stretch a little bit so that you can come into a pyramid pose. Hips square to the front of the mat. Straighten your front leg, hinge at the hips, and have a long spine. Look out, directing your energy at one spot to help your balance. Bend your front knee and use your core to pull yourself out of this into a standing position. Arms open wide into a T position. Reach with your right fingers towards the right side of the mat, then hinge so that your right hand rests on your shin or a block on your right side. Right toes should be also pointed towards the right side of the mat, and your left toes should be pointed towards the long side of the mat. Feel the stretch and expansion on your left side body. Adjust your back foot so it faces forward 45 degrees. Switch your hands and open your chest towards the front side of your leg. With every exhale, twist a little bit further so that your face and shoulders are parallel to the wall. Keep your hips facing the front of the mat. Place your hands on the floor, bend your front knee slightly, and move all of your weight into your hands and your front foot. Slowly lift your back foot, either bend it or keep it straight to lift it. Notice how much the stretch might change depending if your top leg is bent or if it's straight. Notice how much the stretch might change depending on if you put weight in your rooted foot or further into your hands. Place your foot down into your preferred forward fold. Rest here for however long you need just to get reset. Inhale, arms up, rise up into a standing position with hands overhead. Relax your shoulders a little bit, then cross your feet and twist so you're now facing the front of your mat. Here you can start over in your wide-legged forward fold, or you can go to your preferred flow, whatever you like. Thank you so much for joining me in yoga today. I had a lot of fun with this creative flow, and I hope to see you again.